Alright, chat, I wonder if we need to watch this video called Why Dantes Will Never Reach Rank 1 Korea. Not even why I don't think, no, like why Dantes will never hit it.
Dantes is the incarnation of Sisyphus, the mortal being who was punished by Hades by forcing him to roll an immense boulder up a hill only for it to roll back down every time it neared the top, repeating this action for eternity. This describes the very unfolding of events with Dantes and his Korea arc, such as his bans when grinding on the Korean server. There's various reasons for these bans, and consequently Dantes is very unlikely to ever reach rank 1 in Korea, perhaps never, because the rank will keep falling down and down for eternity. So let's explain why. First of all, if you're out of the loop, TFBlade managed to ban 6 other streamers in just 3 days of drama. I made a whole video revolving this event, but the gist of it is basically TFBlade was being incredibly toxic in solo queue in Korea and then he got banned. TFBlade was in the same hotel as these 6 other streamers, and as a consequence all of them got banned, including Dantes.
Well, it wasn't necessarily just because of this. It was also because after he had gotten banned, essentially what had happened was TFBlade got banned, and then he said, fuck it, I'm buying another account. He said that on stream, right? So he said, fuck it, I'm buying another account, bought another account, started playing, got banned again, and then said, fuck it, guys, give me your accounts now. And then he started randomly playing on viewers' accounts. So that's when Riot Korea was like, yo, what the fuck is this shit? And that's when they banned.
There was an IP ban that was administered to TFBlade. Dantes would try to overcome this temporary setback, but he kept getting banned and banned and banned. Why? Is Dantes just seemingly being held back from climbing or even playing on Korea at all? And what is actually the real truth behind streamers bootcamping on the Korean server? Here's some fundamentals required for what I'm about to say. On the Korean server, you are required to sign up with a Korean social security number, otherwise you can't play on the Korean server. Foreigners are unable to play on the Korean servers because of this reason, and they don't have a security number. Therefore, the only legal way, or Riot Games legal way, is to play with a Riot account. Effectively, it's an account given to you by Riot Games, most likely due to your connections.
The interesting thing though is that Alois was a guy who was bootcamping in Korea as well, and he had a Riot account that also got banned. So Alois's Riot account got banned too.
Riot, such as a league partner program. If a player plays without a Riot account, they would be effectively playing on a Korean person's social security number, which in Riot's eyes, and I guess everybody else's, the foreigner is essentially committing identity theft by using this false identity to get access to the Korean server. With this context in mind, more or less 90% of bootcampers or streamers who go to Korea are breaking the Riot terms of service by using an account from a Korean dude. Most of these people do not have a Riot account because they consequently aren't in the league partner program. Now this is understandable though, because LPP is perhaps one of the hardest things to get into, and no, it's not because of their meager requirements that is listed on their
So the interesting thing is just being a part of the LPP isn't enough to actually get a Riot Korea account, because Riot Korea, Riot EU, and Riot NA are all separate entities. They're all separate entities that kind of work together, but they're not all like they're not all ran by the same people.
Website. I mean, just look at these standards. To be eligible, content creators needs to be focused on making League of Legends TFT or Legends of Runeterra content. Specific viewership or subscriber requirements may vary by region. These are the minimum requirements, and meeting these do not guarantee admission into the program. At least 30% of the content needs to be a mix of these games, minimum 50 average concurrent viewers on your livestream from the last 30 days, and or 5,000 average views on your video content in the past 30 days, or at least 1,000 YouTube subscribers. You have to be 16 years of age, must adhere to our behavior expectations, and you must sign a non-disclosure agreement. Now these behavior expectations...
The other thing too about LPP that they don't talk about is the fact that just because you're eligible for the LPP doesn't actually mean that you can get a part of the LPP. So there was actually a period of I think over 1.5 years where Riot didn't bring in any new people to LPP. Literally zero.
Expectations are a lot, and arguably polarizing content creators like Dantes and TFBlade, etc. would probably not be able to adhere to them. But the point is that a lot of content creators can, would, and is adhering to them. However, if you want to apply, you have to read the Applications tab. Applications are currently closed. We're planning on opening them back up in 2021, so stay tuned. We're delaying opening applications back up for LPP in 2021 because we're working on adding more value to the program in ways that we hope creators will be even more excited about. We will have more information on what we got cooking up in the first half of 2022.
Yeah, it's
so
2023,
that pretty much
guys.
sums up everything you need to know about LPP. Aloy,
It's 2023, by the way.
who was also banned in the TFBlade incident, managed somehow to actually get partnered in a few weeks or months after the event.
No, so what had happened with Alois was that he used to be a pro player, And as a result, he had a lot of connections, and it was through his connections that he found a way to get Riot
Not
account.
entirely sure on the time frame there, but somewhere in this room he got partnered. I noticed that because he said something in the likes of thank you to his audience for voting on him. I was extremely
Oh. Oh no, man. Well, I guess it's also because of that too. The fuck? He also used to be a pro player too, though.
curious and even shocked to hear that. Like, what the fuck do you mean by voting? Applications are opening up in 2021 after all. It turns out, on some obscure Twitter marketing post, you could press a link and then vote on certain content creators to let them into the program. I have no idea why Riot went this obscure way, but here...
So wait, you're telling me that for that Riot, a random League of Legends France Twitter account? What? Dude, I swear. No, I gotta go on a rant for a second. Riot is by far the worst company on the planet when it comes to announcing events, changes, and any kind of system things to the game. Because the problem is that it's never an official post that's actually made. What Riot does is they just have some random either Twitter account or like random writer tweet out some change, and then they're like, oh yeah guys, by the way, we alerted you. Because this random writer with 10,000 followers made a post about it. What is this shit?
Here we are, and it's not like quite many people are inactive in the LPP, so if you wanted more spots you could just, you know, kick those guys out, but nah, a guy who hasn't streamed in 3 years might come back next week or something, right?
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Cookie Law is a part of the LPP, by the way. Maybe they removed him already, but last I heard he was.
Right, and, you know, stream for a couple of hours. Who knows? So yeah, anyways, back to the point. Most people are just outright violating the TOS regarding their stay on the Korean server by using a Korean ID. This is why Dantes keeps getting banned, for example, during his first Korean run. This run, the late 2023 run, so far he has only been banned for 14 days for inting, which he went 1-8 on a game of Morgana Jungle. And what's funny is that this ban happened a few days after the game. This dips into the idea that there are multiple ways of Dantes having setbacks in his Korean arc run, namely because he isn't on a Riot account. So effectively, if you don't know this, Riot Korea is for some reason having a more prestigious system than us in Advanced. Apparently pros...
Well, let me actually tell you guys the truth. So the truth is that if you make an account with another guy's Riot account, social ID, whatever, and that guy, all he has to do is when your account gets locked, he just calls up Riot, says, yo, why'd my account get locked? And they instantly unlock it. The only reason why in the first Korea run I wasn't able to do this was because when my first account got banned, it was like an actual ID ban, right? So it's like, it wasn't a lock, it was like an actual ban because of the whole TF Blade thing. My second account, right, that I was like kind of ranking up to, got banned for the same reason because I'd already logged into both. Then the third and fourth accounts that I played on both got locked. They both got locked because I was unable to let's just say they both got locked because the information that they were asking, I wasn't able to provide them with, okay? But if I was in a position where I was able to provide them with that information, those accounts would have gotten locked. And then the fifth account, the last account I played on, also, it was the same thing where I just wasn't able to get it unlocked for whatever reason. And the craziest thing is that 2 days before I actually left Korea, they unbanned my main account. My main account got unbanned 2 days before leaving Korea, like my Grandmaster one. So it's a little interesting.
And big content creators have their own kind of hotline where they can just text in and then get someone banned immediately a few minutes later. This information comes from LS and one of his colleagues,
this
so
actually
it's
true.
Likely Dantes got banned for such a reason. In addition,
So that's another thing too, is that if a Korean or Chinese pro doesn't like you, they can actually sit there and they can say, yo, we want this guy banned. And what Riot does is they say, oh, you want him banned? Sure. And then they just ban you instantly. So that's one of the reasons why you should never get in arguments on the server.
Tension also said that the Korean would be banning him, which may be a cause for the IP Hotel ban in the first place.
This pro player in my game said, you are from NA, I'm making sure you get banned. Is what he said to me, and he was 1 in 14! 1 in 14!
But wait, your account just got banned, right?
Literally, we all got banned. In the game that I just played, he said,
Bro, I
"I
remember
will
this.
make sure all NA players will be banned."
What the fuck? Dude!
And I
remember this.
I went to the bathroom, come back, and I'm banned.
This means that Dantes' actions are under a spotlight, so to speak, and being heavily scrutinized by Riot. One little misstep and his account is fated to be history. And remember that Riot has zero tolerance when it comes to the Korean server. A little interesting fact regarding this is that Riot Korea banned all Vietnam Riot accounts from their server. Now allegedly, all of them were banned due to toxicity, and as well as 2 of them were already punished in 2021 due to inappropriate behavior. The last thing one has to note is that Dantes is probably actively, or maybe not actively, hated by the head of the LPP in North America. Obviously this is pure speculation, but after Dantes wrote a tweet asking
It's not pure speculation. I DM'd this. I saw, like, I can actually prove this. This isn't like Photoshop or anything. I can literally just bring it up over here. She literally left me on scene after this, by the way. Not even scene, she left me on sent. Look. I'm not going to show which rider it was, though, just because like, I don't want to send her hate. But yeah. Again, this was during the whole like win trading era in NA, where I was like trying to take a stand against win traders. So I DM'd the head of LPP. I made a few tweets calling out the lack of monitoring and justice for Hilo solo queue. I'd appreciate if you could respond to them or get another rep to do so. I just want you to know that Riot has failed Hilo players. You failed us. We ask for protection and you give us nothing. Consider me the messenger. I will get rank 1 against all odds and send a message that none of you can ignore any longer. Enjoy your temporary respite. The storm is coming. I am the storm. 2 days later, I was indefinitely banned on Twitch for a name that I had, DOAENEL, for 2 years. That had no tie at all with that, by the way.
her to do something regarding win trades in solo queue, she has grown to spite him. She could or not have a hand in things if she contacts Riot Korea. And on the other side, it's likely that he can get challenger or even rank 1 on Korea without being banned. If he isn't toxic or doesn't get banned for supposed inting, you could get as high as what Spearshot is. Spearshot doesn't seem to have a Riot account because if you look at his client when he is in Korea, it doesn't show the little Riot chest-like icon that Arguin has, for example. This is a big indicator on whether the player is on a Riot account or not. Spearshot is 1000 LP challenger with almost 600 games played, so it's 100% doable without being...
Well, he was. So the thing is, Spearshot was. But yeah, let's just say he's been having a little bit of a rough couple weeks. He's like the 200 to 300 LP range for like literal weeks.
Being banned on a non-Riot account. The same applies to Brohan, who didn't get touched for 17 days, even hitting as close as rank 10 in Korea on July 2nd, but even he eventually got banned as he ended up grinding on a secondary account. Not entirely sure what that is all about, but yeah, probably because his account got locked. So the question is it possible for Dantes to reach rank 1? Probably, but it would be against all odds. Remember that the hotel incident with TF Blade originally happened due to an increased demand by the Korean League community to ban Western players, or more specifically just TF Blade. And if this
when it comes to me hitting rank 1 on Korea, I think if I was actually playing perfect, I think I'd be able to do it easily. The only problem is that my mental is always the thing that holds me back. Yeah, let's just say that my mental's been holding me back quite a bit this trip. I mean, I don't know. I feel like, listen, we'll finish strong, okay? But right now it ain't looking too hot. But hey, it's okay. We focus on improvements, and then one day we'll be back with fresh mental, and we just 1v9 every game.